Welcome to Corvallis, Oregon, Research Stadium, home to the Beavers, and you better get used to the sound of chainsaws as the fans here have been ready for this clash since early this morning. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we'll see a squad from the AAC, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, taking on a team from the Pac-12, the Oregon State Beavers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Beavers will put total leather and we'll get started. He'll bring it out. It's Green. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. On first down, here comes this offense. Looking for space. It's Jackson. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on... Tulsa, Oklahoma, home to the Tulsa Golden Hurricane in Skelly Field, where the fans have gathered and they are ready to see those Hurricanes gather some strength. We've got a sensational matchup for you. Fans have been filing in and getting ready for this game, as we'll see a team from the Pac-12, the Oregon State Beavers, taking on a team from the AAC, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollock and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Tulsa will kick off and we'll get this game started. He'll bring it out. It's Griffin. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The offense set for a first down play. On the option. He'll do it himself.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
Leaves it with the back. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
Well, that didn't bust for a long one, but now third down becomes very manageable. It's not third in eternity. Now the whole playbook, short passing game, long passing game, all of it's available.
They'll need 3 yards here on third down to keep this opening drive alive. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Clemens. They'll pick up the first down as he gets it out to the 27-yard line. He knew that he was coming. He had to get rid of it in a hurry, and he did so beautifully.
Perfectly. I don't need a big gain. I don't need to hold on to this football because the longer I hold on to it with the blitz coming, the worse things are going to happen. I just need a few yards for the first down, get it out of my hand, get the first down.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
9-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on second and short. Right back to the well. The Beavers are stopped, but not before getting it past the sticks.
Well, they needed 2 yards for that first down. The running back doing just enough to make sure he keeps this drive alive.
And the Beavers are rolling down the field. They'll run the option. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
And that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, that has to be exhausting for the defensive lineman trying to chase down guys like that.
It's silly because even when it's a design play and it's a design run like here, fine. But then it's scramble plays and then it's passing plays. He's always a runner, just exhausting.
The 7th play of this opening drive, they'll need to move the chains on third and short. Looking to throw, it's McCoy. It's complete to the left. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. Man, he had to get rid of that thing. I don't even think he had time to find the laces, but he picks up the first down.
Yeah, that's a great job. You know, third and short, the defense is bringing pressure. He sees the pressure, gets the football out, and gets just enough for the first down.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They try to pop a run on the draw. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
They try to go draw, but just way too much penetration in the middle of the offensive line, and that the offense has a negative.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Looking for a huge play. And he makes the catch inside the 25. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. The Beavers with the 1st and 10. On the run, it's Hankerson. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. They tried to run the counter, but absolutely nothing doing.
And those counter plays take a little longer to develop sometimes. You're usually pulling 1 or 2 guys, and that penetration in the backfield can kill you, can get to the running back before he gets started.
On second down, he'll let it fly. Makes the catch. It's Griffin. And he'll go out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they've got it right on the doorstep.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy. And then
into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Oregon State. If you're able to move the ball on a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing. For this offense now moving forward in this game, that last drive is going to pay big dividends.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And he'll bring it back. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Offense working from the pistol. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Just a short pass to the tight end. They get him down after he makes the catch.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Looking for a crease. It's Jackson. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
And I don't care if I did it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
Now that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
They'll give it to the back. At the 40, there he goes. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this offense was going to try and get this receiver involved and get him involved early. So here they are just finding an easy completion. It's not a touchdown, but they just want to get this guy lathered up and get him into the win. Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards don't matter. All that matters with these defenses nowadays is points and limiting them.
Crosses the 30, he's got away. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down.
Hard to imagine this is only their first drive of the game, but their defense was on the field for virtually an entire quarter. So, guys, there's a lot of pressure on this offense here to convert this third down so their defense can stay on the sideline and get their win back.
I think he did a really good job, first of all, keeping his eyes downfield. You can see he wanted to throw the football. But when it's not there, don't force it. Tuck it down, get some positive yards.
Looking to throw, it's Vegas. Finds his tight end. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
Well, this tight end, he's got size and he's got some athleticism, and he's very difficult to cover one-on-one. Defense is going to have their hands full with him today.
Tulsa now has it in the red zone. Got it, looking for the first down. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. Oregon State 7, Tulsa 0.
Starting off this quarter, close enough to smell the goal line. This is a design run. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs, so it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going, but moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
Running play to the left, looking for the end zone here. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Golden Hurricane. was an absolute sledgehammer of a drive, just taking the air out of the ball.
And it's hard when you run that many plays not to make a mistake, throw an interception, or get penalties and put you in a bad spot. But the offense just strung play after play together and got in the end zone.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Now on the option. He just has a nose for those little crevices to be able to find space, and he picks up the first down.
All right, well, look, I know the defense was feeling real good about their run D coming into this one and how they've been playing up to this point, but finally, David, the offense breaks through, and they finally generate something positive on the ground.
And I can't tell you how easy it is. When you're going to throw the ball consistently, and I know it, I'm going to pin my ears back, and I'm going to get to the quarterback. It makes life really easy on the defensive line. But when you can have balance, now the defense doesn't know what's coming. They need more of this if they're going to be successful on offense.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But they got to do a great job gang tackling because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
Been showing them the run. Now they'll throw it. Makes his connection. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
That is an excellent throw by the quarterback, finding the window between the zones and delivering that ball on time.
The Beavers have their offense in high gear. Power football with the run. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
I think a lot of times when offenses run these counters, you're going to fake one way, right? Pull guys the other direction. If you can get some penetration really quickly, get behind those pullers, you got a chance to get in the backfield, just like right there, and create a TFL.
Last play was a near disaster. Now dealing with 2nd and 13. Makes the grab on the left. And he'll be brought down.
This receiver is such a weapon. He has so much speed, and he can generate explosive plays for your offense, not just running go routes and post routes, but how about throwing him the drag, letting him catch it, and use his speed to turn it upfield.
He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
And a great job by the offensive line. You're going to run the ball right up the middle. You better control the line of scrimmage. You can see the center, the guard, the tackles doing a good job getting on their guys just enough where this running back can get into space and make the big gain.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, right away after picking up a first down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back, and I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the back.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on first down. You're starting like that. Now what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
They'll try to make up for that last one on 2nd and 15. Red pass, it's complete. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered to pick up the first.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. They're bringing heat. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
This offense is going to have to come up with a plan to block this guy. He is an absolute monster, and he showed you all his tools on that sack.
It is true as he puts 3 on the board. And with that, they've taken the lead.
Oregon State, 10. Tulsa, 7.
After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go.
Set to advance on the football.
He'll call for the fair catch here. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
It's so important this offense is able to get this guy the ball in space, especially on the perimeter of the field. And I love that last play call because he's able to get outside and use his speed. To me, that's where this guy is most dangerous.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. To the air, it's Vegas. Swings it out to the flat. Makes the catch, and he's brought down.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
And here comes the offense on second down. The throw to the outside is complete. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
It's third down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. At the 45 on his way. The expressway is wide open. Touchdown, Tulsa! And once he got loose, it was all over. Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. And they knew how to close the deal, rolling double nickels and the 55-yard touchdown run. Kickoff team is on the field. They'll try to drive this one deep. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
He'll ride his man on the option. And the defense snows him under after a very short game.
And you could tell the QB wants to run. He's going to be a big part of the game plan, and the defense really, really understands that. I got to understand, and more importantly, when I get a lick on this cat, I got to take it. Like, not dirty, not cheap shots, but end of these plays, when I can be physical and really make him feel me, I think that'll always bode well in a fourth-quarter game.
And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Big third down conversion, getting the ball to your running back, and he does the rest. This guy, I think, will get a lot more touches.
And you want to know why he's on the field on third down? Because he can block, he can catch the ball, and you can also hand it off to him, and he can go find the sticks and keep drives alive. What a weapon.
Let's see what they've got on second down. Now the play fake. Throws for the tight end. Complete to the left. He'll work his way down to the 28.
Well, that play-action fake, it just froze the defense for a split second. That allowed the tight end time to work his route, get vertical down the field, and pick up a big gainer for the offense.
And the Beavers will have it 1st and 10. They'll run the option. Now the toss. A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution.
What a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Dropping back, it's McCoy. Pocket starts to collapse. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
And I want to be aggressive in these situations. When I got 2nd and goal, I want to go out and try to get that touchdown. But I do like how he didn't force the ball into coverage, didn't make a big mistake, throw a turnover in this area. You want to make sure you can guarantee points. You still got 3rd and goal coming up, and if you want to go for it on 4th.
3rd and goal from way back there. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. The defense burns their 3rd and final timeout of the half. And if the kicker can put one through, this will be a successful drive. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive.
That makes the score Tulsa.
So they put the field goal on the board and about to kick it away, and hoping that'll be the final points of this first half. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. How about that blocking up front in that running game last time as they just walked it down for a touchdown there.
And the big boys up front doing their job, opening holes, the backs making plays, everything on the ground on that first drive worked.
And we know that this is the identity this coaching staff wants for this team, right? They want to be the most physical team on the field. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Avoids pressure. Trying to make magic with his feet. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. That's going to wrap it up here in the first half. Stay tuned. Second half not too far away. Kickoff and kickoff return teams on the field, and we're just about ready to go in the second half.
Kick this one away.
Coming out with it, it's Ellison. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. They opened this 3rd quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
Caught over the middle. It's Jackson. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get him to the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. Trying to get the corner. You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41.
It's the MO of this offense, and they really put a lot on the offensive line to go out and really try and establish their dominance and their assertiveness, and they've done a good job of that early in this game running the football.
Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. Wants to throw. It's Lagas. Fires to the right. He makes a catch. Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the first down. They've got it at the 40.
Just beautiful, and that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw. It keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously, not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot off over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
Open space at the 25. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop.
Defensively, you'll take the slow down. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run the guys, and get them on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Comes out throwing on first down. Pulls it in. It's Benjamin. That completion will take him inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
The give to the back. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4.
I think you run that play on second down knowing it's going to make third down easy. You're not trying to hit a home run. You don't need the big play right now. Now you know third down, everything's on the table, everything's available, high success rate.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. Touchdown, Golden Hurricane! A great catch and run for 6.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after they catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Jesse, they had to kick a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah, and oftentimes early...
Fires into traffic, and it's picked off. Touchdown, Tulsa! What a great play by the defense and paying it off with the interception return. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick 6.
And these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back.
First down for this offense. On the option. Got enough for the first. And he breaks into the open. The 30. At the 20. Touchdown, Beavers! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
I mean, talk about hard to stop. Like, so many weapons, so much speed, and then your quarterback is going to go 50-plus. Defensive coordinators, that's why nobody wants to play defense anymore or coach defense. You want to be on the offensive side of the football because otherwise you got to defend weapons like these that are just weapons of mass destruction.
Trying to pound their way in. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for 2 does not work out.
That keeps the score. Tulsa, 28. Oregon State, 19.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Set to kick this one away.
Fair catch called for and made. The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. Really good balance on that last drive. They mixed it up all over the place, Jesse.
Yeah, how nice, too, to have the defense on their heels, because at this point, they don't know what's coming at them. They had problems stopping everything that last drive.
So I think this defense would come back with a little more aggressiveness. I mean, they let them have what they wanted. Now they got to dictate to this offense a little bit more.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Got it in the middle. It's Benjamin. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
When you're in defense, you have a choice. Do you play man or do you play zone? They sat back in zone. That might change. They might change their mind and try to switch to man here shortly in the future.
The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead and coming around the inside.
Plays like that, but just a second of hesitation in the defense to make sure, and they're able to take advantage here.
And they use the great timing with this call, right? Like, you can't call this play all the time, but you want to catch them when they're a little bit aggressive, not thinking about it. Nice job slipping the screen behind them, making the easy catch, and then getting downfield, picking up some extra yards.
Tulsa comes to the line with a 1st and 10.
42 Spider. 4-2
Oh, the ball squirts out. And the defense has got it, and they're trying to pick up some yards.
As a defender, you dream about those big hits. You work hard on it in practice, closing space, getting close, and just sticking that guy and causing the fumble.
Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a
And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. The free safety timed his rush perfectly on the blitz, and they come up with the sack.
Yeah, and the free safety usually stays deep and plays coverage, plays in the middle of the field, but you spin him down, bring him in a blitz. You could tell, caught the offense off guard, and he gets the quarterback and gets the sack.
That's caught. It's Hankerson. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. To the air, it's McCoy. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And that defender was just smothering the quarterback on that screen attempt. You know, the QB's taught to hold on to it to the last possible second. He had no shot trying to negotiate that defender.
They'll put the tight end in motion. To the ground with the back. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8.
Tulsa, it's 3rd down.
If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Complete out of the backfield. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Number 37.
Trickery and deception. They snap it to the up man. They'll stop him short, and they had it sniffed out from the beginning. play of the quarter coming. Trying to find his man on first down. Got his man quickly. On the move at the 30. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
Tulsa, 28. Oregon State, 19.
Ready, set.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Spider.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. Headed to the end zone. And with a hallelujah land. Touchdown, Golden Hurricane.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And the extra point is good, and the lead swells to 16, and it's getting late. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Running behind that left side. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Looking to pass. It's McCoy. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And he makes the catch inside the 25. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. He's all the way down to the 3. An electric run has them set up.
And, RD, I love creative offensive coordinators. They don't just split a guy out wide that has game-breaking speed nowadays. Now they shift him, they motion, they put him all over the place. They put him in motion and give him the football. Just find ways to get your playmakers the football and get the football to him in space where he can do damage like he did on this play.
This is a hard defense to run to the outside against because of their speed. You saw in that last play their ability to go sideline to sideline, win at the point of attack as they shut down that sweep.
Yeah, it's also hard when you get in the red because what do on defense? We bring in all the big bodies, so there's not a lot of space in there to run. I like getting the ball in the perimeter. You toss it out there and you run it back. He gets out there faster. Got a positive game. Still a couple plays here left too.
If they can get it in here, we could have a thrilling end to this game. It is 3rd and goal. The option look. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
And I think it's go time now at this point of the game if you're on offense because you need a touchdown. You have this golden opportunity down close to the goal line. Who is a playmaker you can identify offensively that you know can win one-on-one to get you the score?
They're going to run it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Oregon State.
You get down here in the red zone, and you get close to the end zone, and you get goal-to-go situations, you've got to be physical, and I love teams that can run the football. They run the football, hand it to the running back. He does the rest, puts it in the end zone.
Looking for the 2-point try.
Single.
Go straight ahead. He's into the end zone, and we've got a one-possession game in the 4th quarter. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive and finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. He'll bring it out. It's Ellison. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
They'll try again on second down after the incompletion. Back to pass, it's Vegas. He looks that one in nicely. And they finally haul him down, but not before the good catch and run.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
The defense is up against it now, man. You're playing on the road. It's a hostile environment. It's late in the game. Someone's got to step up and make a play. Nice job there knocking that one down for the incompletion.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
Yeah, and you use these running backs so much in the passing game now, and you expect him to make those plays for you, to make those big explosive plays out of the backfield. Just got to make sure he concentrates and see that ball come in.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. And the quarterback is snowed under. The defense coming up big there. The sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and it's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Off play action on first down. He's going for a big play downfield. Fires into traffic, intercepted. He was thinking big return, didn't get that, but boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31.
What a nice catch by the defensive back. Listen, a lot of times you see DBs get in position to make plays, but there's a reason they play DB and not wide receiver. Great job finishing the interception, catching the ball, making a big play.
All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. To throw, it's Vegas. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. Touchdown, Beavers! The defense with the huge momentum swing, taking it all the way in. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
He'll set up to throw. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, at this juncture in the game, that was 2 points they needed to have to tie this one up. Now, there's tons of pressure on the defense to get the ball back to have a chance to win.
They're lining up to kick it off after the pick six, and that defense will come out feeling it. Fielded in the end zone, it's Ellison. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. The Golden Hurricane offense comes back onto the field. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
On second down, he'll fire. Catch in the middle, it's Ballard. Several defenders there to get him on the ground.
I love the QB here. He holds it, he holds it, he holds it just long enough to let the receiver run the drag route. And then he puts it out in front of him so he can catch it on the run in stride and then turn upfield to use his speed.
They'll try to muscle their way forward on 3rd and short from the 29. Dropping back, it's Vegas. On target. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
Well, this guy's been a go-to guy for this offense all game long. We've seen that. And here on a critical 3rd down late in the game with the lead, guess who shows up with another big one? That guy.
Caught in the backfield, it's Jackson. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Quick completion on the out. Put it right on him. Sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
You know what's interesting? At this point of the game, with the lead in the 4th quarter, the defense is expecting them to run the ball, and because they're putting so many guys close to the line of scrimmage, they're taking advantage, throwing it 2 straight completions now back-to-back.
Oh, no, the ball popped out. The defense scoops it up, and they're bringing it back. All by himself down the middle. Touchdown, Oregon State. The defense with the scoop and score. You're happy you got the ball back, but the defense takes it a step further and just goes ahead and gets 6.
Yeah, you just want to get the stop, right? And you get the stop, get the points. I'm going to need another stop. This defense is going to be right back on the field. Unbelievable play, but you got to do it again.
So he took a chance by using a timeout on the challenge, and it comes back to bite him. We'll see if he needs that timeout later. And the extra point is good, and the lead is 5 here in the 4th. The scoop and score, what a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. They're lining up to kick it away, and that defense salivating after getting the scoop and score. Fielded in the end zone. It's Ellison. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. A quick pass to the left. Across the 25, he's got room. Makes the stop at the 29-yard line, but not before he gets 15 on that play. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. Looking to move it through the air. Makes the catch. It's Williams. He's brought down. Solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires into traffic. Picked off. Taking it the other way. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Beavers!
And this is exactly what you dream about for a defense. Forcing the big turnover, making the pick, and then putting points on the board yourself. Great play by the defense.
And with the extra point, the lead is a dozen here in the 4th. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. We'll get another look at this Tulsa offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
He's taking a deep shot. And they can't hook up, going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down.
I'll tell you, this offense just can't afford too many more incompletions because time's running out in the game. They need big plays in the passing attack, vertically down the field, and they've got to score some touchdowns.
Dropping back, it's Vegas. Fires toward the target. For the third straight play, the pass falls incomplete.
After that incompletion, 4th and long now on your own side of the field, you're trailing in the 4th quarter. What's your go-to play call here in the passing game? Where is the matchup that you trust in to come up with a big one to give yourself a chance to stay alive and win this game?
The receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Makes the grab, and he's got the first. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. They'll throw it on 1st down. They're trying to get to him. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
That should be the nail in the coffin. What a great break on the football, getting the big turnover. You got the lead. Now just go out there, be smart on offense, and run that clock.
A 1st down for the offense. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. Offense getting set for 1st down. And on 4th down, they'll take a knee, but this one's just about over. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. Not only the scoreboard, but the clock on the side of the offense as they take a knee, though the D can stop it a couple more times. And the running game has collapsed so far on this drive, and now it's 3rd down. This one was a lot like a tennis match, back and forth, up and down, and they just couldn't quite score enough and get the key stop to get the win.
And defenses have changed, right? It's not about limiting to low points anymore, but you got to find ways to create turnovers and get that ball back to your offense so they can do their damage. Defense just needed to create a few more opportunities.
I think it just came down to individual effort on the defensive side of the football for this team. Somebody needs to step up in big moments in big games and make the play to win. We didn't see it happen today.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.